T-O-T-D-I-S. T-O-T-D-I-S.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2505 with a release date of Friday, October 31st, 2025 to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Researchers find compromised satellite security. An amateur radio tribute to Orson Welles, and responders keep a watchful eye on Hurricane Melissa. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2505 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, amateur radio's first independent on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Wadsworth, Ohio, here's Stephen Kenford, N8WB.
As the Newsline went to production, Hurricane Melissa was still a developing story in the Caribbean. The Category 5 storm had already done catastrophic damage to parts of Jamaica as it continued its rampage through the region. The Hurricane Watch Net was active on 14.325 megahertz and 7.268 megahertz, and advising all other traffic to avoid those frequencies. The VOIPWX.net was monitoring calls for help and Skywarn weather reports from impacted areas. Many reports came from the Caribbean Digital Amateur Radio Service and other amateur radio stations who relayed information from Jamaican news, radio, as well as local ham stations. Newsline will be following amateur response to the storm and its aftermath. Meanwhile, teams at two major U.S. universities have released a report revealing dangerous security issues with some sensitive satellite transmissions. We have details from Kent Peterson, KC0, DGY.
Using a commercially available satellite dish, a team of researchers at two U.S. universities confirmed the lack of security protecting the at-times sensitive content being broadcast from satellites. The teams at the University of Maryland and UC San Diego said that they easily tapped into geostationary satellite transponders, sending private consumer data, internal corporate communications, voice and SMS transmissions from mobile phones, and, perhaps the most disturbing, military transmissions that were particularly sensitive. The research teams released their findings on the 13th of October, and the contents were carried by the website Wired. They said the satellite's extreme vulnerability was discovered with the use of nothing more than off-the-shelf radio equipment that is widely available on the market. The teams concluded that at least half of the geostationary satellites carrying such data do not have effective encryption in place, leaving the contents of the transmissions accessible to hackers and others with the ability to monitor them. According to the report, the researchers alerted many of the satellite operators after the discoveries were made. They wrote in the report, quote, "In several cases, the responsible party told us they had deployed a remedy," end quote. They included Walmart, T-Mobile, and KPU. They note that remediation was still going on for other affected parties, and, as such, the team did not identify them in the report. In the meantime, they said end users are able to encrypt their network traffic via virtual private network and, on mobile devices, the use of end-to-end encryption apps. This is Kent Peterson, KC0 DGY.
The broadcast and the amateur radio worlds have often overlapped, especially sharing many of the same people behind the microphone or behind the scenes. In Latvia, hams are taking part in a celebration that marks 100 years of that nation's first radio station. Jeremy Boot, G4NGH, has those details.
The hams who are calling CQ as YL100LR until the 2nd of November are sharing the story of Rigas Radiofons, which went on the air in 1925 with a 2-kilowatt transmitter, 2 45-meter high antenna towers, and equipment purchased from France. From its studio inside a post office building in Riga city, The state-owned station began its life on the air with a 2-hour broadcast that included the Puccini opera Madame Butterfly and a speech by Minister of Transport J. Pauluks. The evolution of radio broadcasting in Latvia is closely tied to that of amateur radio there. When the Latvian Radio Society helped create the Radio Subscribers Law, they created a category for radio experimenters who eventually became the nation's hams. From the start, they were big supporters of the newly created broadcast station. In fact, by 1926, a spare transmitter at the station was being used for ham radio communications. The relationship remains strong to this day, and many amateur radio operators in Latvia are also broadcast radio professionals. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
Recognizing industry growth and student demand, a university in northern Washington state has developed a full electrical and computer engineering department on its campus, and it's being chaired by an amateur radio operator. We have those details from George Zafiropoulos, KJ6VU.
Starting in the fall of 2026, students at the Western Washington University will be able to enroll in programs in the new electrical and computer engineering department and to pursue studies in the school's first engineering graduate program. The courses were previously housed within the school's Department of Engineering and Design. The Zero Retries newsletter, which reports the development in its latest edition, said that Janelle Ledger, Dean of the College of Science and Engineering, credited student and industry demand as the primary reasons for the creation of the new department. She said that the move is being made with support from the state to create the degree programs. Majors will select from 4 programs, which include wireless networking and signal processing, as well as AI, electronics, and energy. The professor chairing the new department is Andy Klein. On the university website, the professor writes that having a standalone department will pave the way to creating new partnerships and internships with companies that generate more internships for students. Andy Klein is an amateur radio operator who received the call sign KG7WFT in July. This is George Zafiropoulos, KJ6VU.
Newsline congratulates the team at the Radio Society of Great Britain's National Radio Center. They were selected for the 2025 Sir Arthur Clarke Education and Outreach Team Award for their work advancing knowledge into amateur radio satellite communications. The British Interplanetary Society conferred the award, which was accepted by RSGB General Manager Steve Thomas, M1 ACB, NRC Coordinator Martin Baker, G0 GMB, and NRC volunteer Brian Hardy, G4 BIP. Radio was precious to Orson Welles, the American writer, actor, magician, and filmmaker who is most prominently celebrated at this time of year for War of the Worlds, his 1938 science fiction broadcast depicting a Martian invasion, a drama so realistic that it incited panic in listeners. War of the Worlds was back on radio recently, but this time it was amateur radio, as Travis Lisk, N3ILS, tells us.
The fictional Martians may not have had their antennas tuned, but members of the Delaware Valley Radio Association did, as 16 operators called CQ for several hours in a public park in Grover's Mill, New Jersey, the site where the original broadcast radio drama played out in 1938. This was the club's 4th year hosting the event as station W0W, and it was timed to coincide with the original late October airing. There is a monument in the park honoring that broadcast, which put Grover's Mill on the map, but the ham's activation in the park may have left a lasting impression too. Unlike the invading Martians, the visitors here came in peace. Cyclists participating in the township's Martian bike ride and other members of the public stopped by to get a close-up look at what amateur radio is all about. One young person even got on the air and logged one of the 159 QSOs that were made according to Martin Crabtree, W3PR. Anyone saying, "Take me to your leader," would have been introduced, of course, to Club President Martin, that's Martin, not Martian, who was outfitted appropriately in foil-covered fedora. Other hams wore antenna, but in this case, none of them were tuned for any transmissions except perhaps those from Mars. This is Travis Lisk, N3ILS.
Time for you to identify your station. We're the amateur radio newsline heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the K7 MMA repeater in Spokane, Washington on Fridays at 5 p.m. local time. Amateurs in Minnesota are preparing to mark a somber 50th anniversary, a maritime tragedy that has even touched the lives of some club members. Andy Morrison, K9AWM, has the details.
50 Novembers ago, a storm stirred over Lake Superior, and the USS Edmund Fitzgerald, a ship with 29 men aboard, was swallowed up by the raging water. That tragedy in the American Midwest claimed the lives of the entire crew. They share their final resting place with the doomed iron ore carrier. These men are not buried and forgotten, however. Their friends, relatives, and former neighbors are among those who participate every year in an on-air tribute organized by the Stillwater Amateur Radio Association. Hams will be calling QRZ as Whiskey Zero Juliet Hotel from the 7th of November through the anniversary date of the ship's sinking, November 10th. Special Events Chair and past President Dave Glass, Whiskey Zero Oscar X-Ray Bravo, told Newsline that connections to this ship have emerged almost every year for the 2 decades of this event. A distant cousin of club member Curtis Lech, Kilo Fox Zero Papa Sierra Charlie, was among the fatalities. Blaine H. Wilhelm was 52 and the ship's oiler. Dave told Newsline, quote, "Over 2 decades of operating our special event, we've made contact with 1,000 hams average per year worldwide, mostly throughout North America. There's often someone who tells us of a connection they've had with one of the lost crewmen," end quote. The hams will operate from Split Rock Lighthouse State Park. The ship passed that lighthouse on the day it made its final trip. For details about modes, frequencies, and times, or instructions as to how to get a certificate, see QRZ.com. This is Andy Morrison, Kilo 9 Alpha Whiskey Mike.
If your plans next year include attending Ham Radio Friedrichshafen in Germany, you may want to set aside a day to consider some skygazing that has long been a companion to amateur radio. Astro, an astronomy trade fair, is making its premiere next year. The exhibition center that will be home to the large ham radio trade fair from June 26th through to the 28th will also be welcoming amateur astronomers and technology hobbyists on June 27th. Space is being set aside in Hall B1 for the trade fair, focusing on astronomy, astrophotography, and related activities, giving hams and others many more worlds to explore. In the world of DX, Rudy, DK7PE, is making his 3rd Pacific DXpedition and is on the air through the 19th of November. His plans include activating Guam with the call sign KG6/AH0G, Micronesia using V6CW, the Marshall Islands using V73RK, and possibly Western Kiribati using T30RK. He will operate CW only with 100 watts and wire antennas. QSL via his home call sign. The Mediterraneo DX Club is on a DXpedition to Sierra Leone until the 10th of November using the call sign 9L8MD. A separate activity will take place on Banana Island, IOTA number AF037, using the call sign 9L on 40 to 6 meters. QSL via IK2 BUC. Eddie, OE3SEU, will be active as CN2SE/P while touring Morocco in his motorhome between the 1st of November and the 7th of December. Eddie will also be calling on the QO100 satellite. QSL via LOTW. Members of the Radio Club del Tarragona, EA3RCY, will be using the call sign AO25TWHS. From the 1st to the 30th of November, the special call sign celebrates the 25th anniversary since the Archaeological Ensemble of Tarraco, which is modern-day Tarragona, as inscribed into the UNESCO World Heritage List. QSL via LOTW, QRZ logbook, and EQSL. Our final story this week will be music to your ears, or maybe not. Jim Davis, W2JKD, explains.
When the musician-composer duo of Brian Eno and Beatty Wolf launched their new album Liminal on the 10th of October, they really launched it in every sense of the word. On Facebook, Brian Eno described the pair's musical partnership as, quote, exploring an intimate and unfamiliar new sonic world, unquote. So what better venue for it than some faraway sonic world? The pair beamed the album into space via microwave transmission 5 days after its release. At the helm of Liminal's liftoff was Nobel Prize-winning physicist Robert Wilson, operating the Holmdel horn antenna in New Jersey, which had played a role in helping prove the Big Bang Theory. The microwave horn antenna, as it turns out, is a well-tuned instrument of music as well as science. For Beatty Wolf, this was actually its encore performance. Robert Wilson helped broadcast a previous album of hers in 2017, a work known as Raw Space. Music, the universal language, is now the universe's language. Even NASA has got into the act. In 2008, the space agency marked its 50th anniversary by sending a recording of the Beatles across the universe into deep space. Last year, its Deep Space Station 13 radio dish antenna in California beamed the first hip-hop song into space, Missy Elliott's The Rain Super-Duper Fly. This past May, the European Space Agency broadcast a Vienna Symphony Orchestra performance of Johann Strauss's Blue Danube Waltz from its radio antenna in Spain at the speed of light in the direction of the Voyager 1 probe. This is the never-ending journey of music. It's now surrounded by constellations and CubeSats, dancing with the stars. I'm Jim Davis, W2JKD.
If you haven't sent in your ham radio haiku yet, what's been stopping you? Visit our website at arnewsline.org, and as you compose your ode to your favorite online activity, we will help you use the correct number of syllables to make an authentic haiku. Submit your work, and then sit back and wait to hear whether you are the winner of this week's challenge. The winner gets a shout-out on our website where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to Amateur News Daily, AMSAT News Service, Dave Gloss, W0OXB, David Behar, K7DB, 425DX Bulletin, Futurism.com, Hurricane Watch Net, Martin Crabtree, W3PR, Messe Friedrichshafen, Mountain Radio Challenge, Music Radar, QRZ.com, NASA.gov, NPR, Radio Society of Great Britain, shortwaveradio.de, VOIP, WXNet, Western Washington State University, Wired, Wireless Institute of Australia, YouTube, Zero Retries newsletters, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer nonprofit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Stephen Kinford, NAWB in Wadsworth, Ohio, saying 73. As always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2025. Amateur Radio Newsline retains ownership of its material even when retransmitted elsewhere. All rights are reserved.
QST, stand by for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Club Net coming up at 8 p.m. local time, NTAT.
T-O-T-E-N-A. T-O-T-E-N-A.
KD8SLG Mobile. Is this thing working? Somebody let me know, please.
It's working. It's working.
W8WKY.
Sounds good, Nick.
Thank you, gentlemen. KD8SLG clear.
The weekly Serenet, featuring club news, trivia, and check-ins from some of the nicest hams in the universe starts in 5 minutes. Get ready for the weekly Serenet starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
CQ, this is WHWKY calling CQ for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net. This is Dave, November Tango 8 Delta NT8D, your net control operator for this evening, and I will be using the club call sign Whiskey 8 Whiskey Kilo Yankee for all traffic. This is control net, and all traffic must pass through net control, though emergency and priority traffic may break into this net at any time. Sarah meets on this repeater every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. This net is open to all licensed amateurs, and you do not need to be a club member to check into this net, so please jump in and join us. A reminder, the PL tone for this repeater is 114.8. Order of business, we'll ask for announcements, we'll do some in and out check-ins, some regular check-ins. We got some trivia and comments along the way. So with that, let me ask, does anybody have any announcements for the good of the order? Particularly, anybody want to share information about the club Christmas party? I was looking on the webpage, didn't find any information. So any announcements and any information about the Christmas party, please call Net Control now. All right, thought maybe we get some officers in there, and maybe not yet. My announcement is that, we have often had a master of trivia for this evening net. Russ was a master of trivia for a long time, and then Eric. Eric has apparently not been able to do that on a regular basis recently, so my announcement is I would suggest that we as a club find a volunteer to become the new master of trivia for the Tuesday Night Net. With that, let's go ahead and open up for in and out check-ins. In and out only, please.
November 8th, Whiskey Sugar, Bill into London.
Whiskey November 8th, Sierra Charlie India, I'll be in and out.
Kilo Alpha 8, Mike November Tango, in and out.
Please copy, November 7, Victor Alpha November, N7 VAN, in and out, 73s.
Here is Kilo Delta 8, November Echo Oscar, KD8 NEO, Darrell and Holmes County, in and out.
Kilo Echo 8, Zulu Romeo, KE8 ZZR, Harry and Wadsworth, in and out.
Kilowatt Delta 8, Sierra, Quebec, Jim in Marshallville, I'll be in and out.
KLC, Fred, Akron, Echolink, in and out. Have a great night.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor Oscar X-Ray, KE8 VOX Scott, Vermilion, in and out.
W8WKY.
All right, I'm going to take the pause. For a couple of collisions, let me tell you who I have. I have November 8 Whiskey Sugar. I got Whiskey November 8 Sierra Charlie India. I got Kilo Alpha 8 Mike November Tango. I got N7 VAN. I got KD8 NAO. I got KE8 ZZR. I got KD8 SQ, and I got KE8 VOX. Between SQ and VOX, there was an Echolink check-in. Would you come back first, please?
That was me, Dave. Whiskey Alpha 8, Kilo Oscar Charlie. WA8KOC Fred Akron, in and out. Have a great nap.
Fred, before you go, thanks for checking in. And how you feeling, my friend?
Thanks, Dave. Just got home. It was not hard because I was asleep the whole time. But they intubated me, so I've got a sore throat, and that'll go away by tomorrow. Thanks for asking. Hope you guys have a great nap. 7-3 to everybody. Looking forward to checking in with my pal, Craig, AA8 CT tomorrow morning, and the barometer net. I'll just be in and out there, too. Take care, Dave.
All right there, Fred. Glad you're home safe. Wishing you a speedy recovery. I'm anxious to hear Craig do a barometer net in the morning, too. And I'll catch up with you in about a week or so. Give you a chance to, kind of get your feet underneath you again. Talk to you soon, Fred. Thanks for checking in. Again, really great to hear from you. Let's see. Right between N8VAN and KD8NAO, there was a collision, and I got neither one of you two.
Kilo Delta 8 Echo Papa Charlie KD8 EPC Dustin and Medina, in and out.
Whiskey 8 Charlie Tango Mike Carry at Portage Lakes, in and out.
KD8 NEO for a recheck on the call letter. It's Kilo Delta 8 November Echo Oscar KD8 NEO.
Kilo Echo 8 Tango Lima Bravo KE8 TLB. Rainy and Rippin'. I'll be in and out, brother. Thanks for doing the net. You do a great job. 73, God bless everyone.
Thanks for checking in. So that takes us all the way up to check-in number 13. Lucky number 13 is going to be our first regular check-in for the evening. We're now taking regular check-ins for the WAWKY Tuesday night Sarah Club Net. Please call now.
WAWKY, this is Kilo Delta 8 Sierra Lima Golf KD8 SLG. I'm mobile. Better put me at the bottom of the list, man. I'll be home in time to pick you up.
Good bus. For regular check-ins.
Alpha 8 Charlie Sierra. This is AA8CS Gary in Fairlawn. Good evening, Dave.
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Delta Tango Papa KF8 DTP Lori Maslin.
Whiskey Tango Delta W8TD John in Wadsworth.
KE8 QFT Fred in Medina.
W8 WKY.
Alpha 8
Echo
Charlie
8,
Tango AAHCT Craig in Shreve.
Kilo Echo 8 Victor Zulu Alpha KE8 VZA Eric in Strongsville.
Foxtrot 8 Delta Tango Alpha KF8 DTA Jeff in New Franklin.
This is WO3X Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray John in Cuyahoga Falls.
Please copy Kilo Echo 8 Uniform India Bravo KE8 UIB John in Massillon.
All right, let me pick it up. The Mark who doubled with KF8DTA Jeff. Mark, would you come back with your call, please?
Kilo 4 Oscar Golf, K4OG.
Thanks, Mark. I thought it was you. Just we got a lot of marks. I wanted to be sure. Let me tell you who I got on that round. Got KD8 SLG, AA8 CS, KF8 DTP, W8TD, KE8 QFT, AA8 CT, KE8 VQX, KE8 VZA, KF8 DTA, K4OG, W03X, and KE8 UIB. Anybody else in this first round, please call now.
Whiskey Delta 8, Lima Alpha, Neo and Metropolitan Brewster. Good evening, everybody on the net tonight. I'll be in and out.
All right there, Dio. We got you marked in and out. Good to see you at the Hamfest this weekend. Good to get an eyeball on you, and nice having a little chat there. Okay, so let's start out. I'm going to call on our president, AA8CS, and request an announcement for him to give us some information about the upcoming Sarah Christmas party. I was looking on the webpage there, Garrett. Didn't see an update there yet. So if you would go ahead and provide that to the group, NT8D, over to you.
NTAD, doing business, I think, tonight as WAWKY. This is AA8CS. Okay, Dave, no worries there. First, we have a club meeting coming up in November. Let me get the right date here. As everyone knows, chronology is definitely not my strong suit. November meeting will be the 20th. That's the third Thursday at the Eagle. So make a note, plan to attend, bring a friend. And the Christmas party is the second, and we've been announcing this for a number of weeks, as a matter of fact. It's the second Thursday of the month, which falls on the 11th of December. I will have all the information for the menuing and pricing, etc., etc. All that will be forthcoming at the meeting. Actually, I probably will have some information before the meeting. Anyway, just mark your calendars. The same caterer is going to provide the dinner. I mentioned before, my lovely wife and I have done the shopping for door prizes, and we are well on our way to having another tremendous Christmas party coming up again on December 11th. Stefan's going to do his magic tricks, and it's going to be a good time. So, again, mark your calendar for December 11th. Plan to attend, and plan to attend. It's going to be a fun time. AA8CS, back to net.
All right, thank you very much there, Gary. Yeah, falling back into the barometer net habits, and I'm one of those folks who, if my phone doesn't tell me to be there, I probably ain't going to show up. So I always block out anything that I want to be at early on my calendar. All right, so let's go ahead and get everybody in here. I'm going to do trivia Phil style tonight. Again, I think it's time for us to call up a new master of trivia. So if there's anybody interested in fulfilling that role, I think just go ahead and throw your hat in the ring, as they say. So I'm going to start off with a trivia question. Before SOS was the distress signal, what was the distress signal that was used to call for an emergency? And KD8 SLG, you're going to be first up tonight. You got lucky slot number 13, man. You're just having a great one. I hope you're having a safe drive. KD8 SLG, WAWKY.
WWKY, this is KD8 SLG Mobile. Hope I'm making it in. Go with QSD there. QS Delta, I think. That's my guess. Good to hear everybody out there tonight. I'll be listening in, hoping I'm making it right now. Talk to y'all later. KD8 SLG, back to net control.
All right there, Nick. You're making it just fine. Light, very light picket fencing. Nice copy. Good guess. Close, but no cigar. Let me put it that way. It was fun to see you at the weekend, and we look forward to catching up at the next meeting. AAHCS, Mr. President, coming right back to you for your trivia answer there, sir.
Dave, thank you for that. Okay. I'm thinking the only one I'm aware of prior, I think you said prior to SOS, the only one I'm familiar with was, I think it was CQ, and they added a D at the end for distress, maybe. That's the extent of my knowledge on this one. I do want to say hello to everybody on the net this evening. I missed the Ham Fest. This is 2 years in a row, unprecedented for me, because the Maslin Club has done a fabulous job with their Ham Fest. The COVID one back in, I think it was 2020, or maybe it was 2021, I forget. But man, they have just absolutely been extraordinarily stellar, and it is a ham fest to reckon with. But I will say this: I had a bro weekend. My two younger brothers, as a matter of fact, we went up to my brother's condo up on at Oak Harbor, I think it is. He's got a little place out there, and we just kicked back and had a bro weekend. We haven't been together like that. I don't remember when we ever did that. As a matter of fact, we might not have ever done that. But it was great talking about old times, new times, things we should do, things we should have done. We had a box of old pictures. It was a stunning, very exhilarating evening, and I'm sorry I missed the Ham Fest, but it was certainly worth the bro weekend. Anyway, that's all I have. Dave, great net. Take care. Talk soon. AAHCS, back to W8WKY.
All right there, Gary. That sounds like a wonderful weekend, actually. As good as the Ham Fest was, probably even better. I'm the eldest of my two in the family as well, so both my brothers are 3 years younger than I am, and then I got a baby sister who's like 9 years younger than I am. But that sounds like a fun weekend, and I really hope you guys were able to bond and share a lot of good times together. So thanks for the story, and you did get the trivia question correct. CQ as a common attention call, and then added D for distress. All right, so using the fill pattern here, I'm going to switch over to a technical question. And again, we are looking for trivia masters for the Tuesday night Club Net. We're going to go to KF8 DTP. Laurie, you get the technical question, Laurie. In an LC network, when you increase the capacitance, so in an induction capacitance network, when you increase the capacitance, what happens to the frequency of the network? KF8 DTP and W8WKY, over to you.
NTA TD from KF8 DTP. Oh man, you know. Listen, I don't know, so this is my guess. It gets distressed, so that's my answer, and we're just going to go with it tonight. It's been a rough, long day. Our dog got us up at 2:30 this morning having a lot of hip issues, so we're just, my focus has been my dog. So, and it was a fabulous ham fest, and I want to thank everybody for coming up to the prize table and saying hi to me up at the table. So I appreciated meeting everybody. With that, I'm just going to hand it back over to you, Dave. Hope everybody has a fabulous Tuesday. 7-3, you all. KF8, DTP, clear.
Right there, Laurie. Yeah, I agree. It was a fabulous ham fest. And I don't know if everybody heard, there was a fire at the Maps Museum overnight, and it burned down the Vietnam relic tent outside of the museum. Nothing was damaged. Some minor damage to the building, I think, but all the displays within the museum were not affected. So that was part of the news this morning. And Laurie, I'm going to give you a point, although we're going to keep the question, because one of the distractors in the multiple choice that I've got here is that it gets noisy. And so, if that was the correct answer, I would have given you credit for saying that it gets distressed, and I would have made you the winner. So at least you got one of the distractors right. It's just not the right one. Hi. Thanks, Lloyd. Nice to talk to you. You have a safe night. John, welcome back. I hope you're adjusting to the new time zone. WATD and TAT. Fred, you're next.
NTAD in the net. WATD, connecting by radio, the way it sometimes is. Good evening all. Arrived home around 8 p.m. last night in this time zone. After more than 24 hours of traveling, including one 13-hour flight that spanned 13 time zones. Wow. Walked in the house. It was chilly in here. It was actually 54 degrees in the house. Apparently that power outage that we had confused my thermostat, and it was hung up. Fortunately, that's all it was, and I was able to get it reinitialized. So we've got heat in the house, and it's okay now. The cat was yowling at me, as she always does when I arrive home after being gone for a few weeks. But I didn't see her, I just heard her yowling. I only have one ear, so I can't localize the sound. I hear a sound, but I have no idea what direction it's coming from. So I didn't see her. Didn't see her till today. Let me reset. And she's laying in the kitchen, yowling and looking up at me like she does. So, okay. Went about my business. When next time I went through the kitchen, she was still there, but in a different place. So she's physically capable of moving. So I can't tell whether she's angry or depressed or sick. Hopefully I'll figure it out tomorrow. Still adjusting to sleep and eating and other disruptions, but I'm back on the air at a normal time, on a normal net, the same time zone as everybody else. Yay, had a great time as always, and I certainly enjoyed talking to the gang back home. Talk to you all again soon, NT8D, and the net, W8TD.
All right there, John. Well, I understand a lot of that, including being confused by the cat, who is just confused with how to communicate. And the same thing with the auditory thing there. At one point in my life, I went completely deaf in my left ear for about 6 weeks. And, yeah, absolutely, you can't locate anything. The phone would ring, and you had no idea where it was if it wasn't in your pocket. Listening to pulling out conversations became really difficult, and as a musician, it became very scary for a while. Doctor gave me a bunch of steroids and said, you got a 30% chance of getting your hearing back, maybe another 30 of getting some of it back, and about a 30% chance of staying deaf. And so I think I got about 90-95% of my hearing back in my left ear. Still really pretty functional. I think I still tune pretty well. But yeah, that location thing just goes away if you don't have the two ears. And I'll talk to you about an experiment sometime when we have a little more time about doing artificial ears and how the brain processes that information. But in the meantime, let's get over to Fred. Oh, you didn't answer the question here. Do you have an answer for the question here, John? As in an LC network, as you increase the capacitance, what happens to the frequency of the network?
Well, you forget I'm old. I had to learn all that crap a long time ago. I know in the capacitance it leads, so I don't know. What are you going to do? Oh, ask me a question about the law.
All right, John, I'll take that. Yeah, I took my extra class test in, I think, 1993-ish or something like that. I don't think I could pass it today. But anyways, have a good one. I'm going to go over to Fred, KE8QFT. Fred, good evening. Welcome to the Club Net. I think you just heard the question. Let's throw it over to some comments and see if you can remember your old testing studies. KF8, KE8QFT, W8WKY.
Well, it is my belief that as the capacitance increases, the frequency would decrease. However, don't quote me on it, as, you know, like, yeah, I passed the exams, but I really don't know anything. But no, that's just my guess. It would decrease. And I wish we were going in the spring instead of fall. KE8QFT, back to net control.
All right there, Fred. Well, I love fall. I just hate what comes after. And once I put the boat to bed, that's like I start thinking about springtime, like the next morning. So you are correct on your answer to the trivia. As the capacitance increases in an LC network, the frequency of the network does decrease. All right. You tucked that back in the memory somewhere there. Good to see you at the Hamfest there, Fred. You have a good one, and we'll catch you hopefully maybe at the next meeting. Craig's going to be up next, and then we're going to head over to VQX. But Craig, AAACT, got to find a new question for you. Let's see. All right, here's one. Before we used RST to describe a tone, what was the code that we used to describe a tone particularly on W? AACT, over to you.
W8WKY. Good evening, Dave. Well, I wish I'd have had the one before because I did know the answer to that one. This one, I don't. And so I will take the proverbial pass, but I did know the one on the, because that was one that was, yeah, I did know that. But anyway, I hope everybody has a good evening. You've got quite a little crowd here tonight, and that's exciting, and it was so good to hear Fred's voice, and he may be listening. If he is, we are all thinking about you, and even though you got through, you're still in our thoughts and prayers, and yeah, all good. With that, I'm going to turn it back to you as a no-show or no answer. I guess that would be NA, no answer. Not applicable. No answer works good. And to all of the club netters out there, thanks for checking in and making the club what it is. AAHCT, back to W8WKY. And thank you, Dave, for doing the ClubNet tonight. 73s.
All right there, Craig. Well, I'm going to give it just a minute before I give out a hint, I suppose. I'm looking, good luck on the barometer net tomorrow morning. I will at least check it out on the scanner at some point, and I'll try to check in with you. We'll see how everything goes at that point in the day, but I understand you'll be doing that. And, yeah, it was great to hear Fred. Man, he's just... to be in and out in that short of a time is just miraculous. So, I'm guessing that within about a week or two, he's going to be feeling pretty good. I'd say give it, for every day that you're in there, give it a week or so for recovery. So if you're in there for a day, it's going to take you a week. If you're in there for 6 days, it's going to take you at least 6 weeks. At least that's been kind of my experience. So I'm wishing him a very quick recovery. Let's see, KE8 VQX, you're up, and then Eric VZA, you're up after Joe here. KE8 VQX, W8WKY.
W8WKY, this is KE8VQX. Hello, Dave. Thanks for getting me in there. Shoot, as far as my answer for the question, I'm probably going to have to take a hard pass as well because I have no idea. I barely know what RST means. Yeah, it was great to hear from Fred. Hope he's listening, and wish him a speedy recovery as well. Not much else to report, just hunting some POTA today a little bit, so that was kind of fun. Trying to keep it down around 5 to 10 watts, and got fairly far with it. I was fairly happy with that. Anyway, I'll give it back to you, Dave. This is KE8VQX with another non-answer. Back to W8WKY.
W8WKY.
Well, that's quite. Got you in here, and nice to hear from you. Sounds like you're having a good evening. And non-answer is kind of what I was expecting for this one. So let me throw out a hint. First of all, RST, that's where we get our 5.9 from. Readability, signal strength, and tone. Readability is how clearly you can copy the signal. Signal strength, of course, is the signal strength, usually measured by a meter. And tone had a lot to do with, this comes from CW, where you could get a warbly sound on your tone. And so 599 would be a perfectly clear tone, perfectly readability and 9 signal. If you had a 596, that would mean there was some kind of trouble on your audio on your CW signal. Before that, there was a Q code that was for that. So it is a Q code. That's your hint. K8VZA, you're up next. What do you got for a guess? And what do you have for the net tonight? W8WKY.
W8WKY in the group, KE8VZA here. Oh boy, that's a tough trivia one if you don't know it like I don't. I'm just going to throw a wild guess out there and say they used a letter scale from alpha to golf. I don't know. No, wait. No, you said it was a Q code. Scratch that. Q code. You know what? I think I've seen that in a list of Q codes at some point. I'm just going to, again, throw a wild guess, and I'm going to call it QTT, Quebec Tango Tango. Anyway, let's see. I missed the Ham Fest. Unfortunately, my brother, fortunately, was in town because I never get to see him anymore. And so I opted to go over to my parents where he was staying and visit with him and them, and it was a good time. Sorry to miss the Ham Fest, though. I hear it was great. Good to hear Fred got through his procedure, from what it sounds like, okay, and is recuperating. I did hear his voice as I tuned in. Was also on the Norris 10-meter net, which I was kind of bouncing between the two there in the beginning, and 10-meter net, yeah. And that went pretty well tonight, as well as 10 meters can do over short distances at 8 p.m. in the evening. Anyway, that's all I have tonight. Good to hear everyone. KE8VZA back to net control.
All right, Eric. Well, you got the right idea. It sounds like you had a good weekend and a good start to your week here. And it just seems like a good radio season to me, anyways. So yeah, you got the first letter correct. And then you got close on one of the other ones. So the first letter is correct. Of course, Q codes start with Q. RST, one of those letters belongs in the correct answer. R, S, or T is in the correct answer. And then you got to figure out one more letter. So R, S, or T is one of the letters. And the third letter, you're just going to have to still guess. Jeff, KF8DTA, W8WKY. What do you think? And what you got for the net tonight?
Well, I don't know how I'm going to come in here. Sounds like it's coming in pretty good. I can hear it from the other room. I'm just over here folding clothes. I have absolutely no idea on the trivia. And yeah, sad to hear about the MAPS fire, and thanks for picking up my call. KF8, back to control.
All right there, Jeff, you are holding that repeater there. Let's see. It's nice to chat with you. Hopefully, we'll see you again soon. I'm glad it was fun doing that COD thing with you the other day. Mark, K4OG. I'm going to give you an option for an alternative trivia question, just because it's you. If you want, instead of answering the question about what was RST before it became RST, you can tell me the date of the first amateur radio satellite was placed into orbit? Oscar 1. You can give me that answer instead if you want. Good. Glad you're back in Ohio there, Mark.
W8WKY. NTAD Dave and everyone, good evening. Well, thank you for the option, Dave, and I'm going to have to take you up on that option because I was cheating on the other one. I couldn't wait to learn. So my guess for the first satellite launch of Oscar 1 would be pure glee, I guess. 1963, maybe? K4OG, horizontal on the couch, back to net.
Oh, close, but no cigar. The hint for this question would be it's the same year I was born and the same year that my house was built. WO3X, thanks, Mark. It's so fun to talk to you, and I can't wait to see you here soon. WO3X, John, I'm going to catch you up in the falls one of these times because I'm up there 3 times a month, so we'll have to hook up sometime if we get a chance. WO3X, John. I'll let you pick your answer to either trivia question and say hello and feed whatever you want to the net.
Yeah, good evening, Dave, and all on the net. This is WO3X. Let's see, the optional question that you gave to Mark, what was it?
What year did they put Oscar 1 into orbit?
Oh, okay, let's see. So he said 1963, and you said it was close, so I'm going to say 1973. I was wondering about WBA UPA, what condition is he in? I don't think he's a silent key yet. Over.
Oh, I'll leave that up to net. I have to search through my. I try to keep track of everybody, so I call up a spreadsheet to see who I've got marked as a silent key. Anybody have any information on W8UPA? Please break into net. W8WKY.
G8 TNF.
Go ahead, Chris. You got it.
Last I knew, UPA is in assisted living. He is in assisted living. KD8 TNF. Back to that.
All right, thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. And I'm going to put you on the law. If you want to get back in and do trivia, you're more than welcome to. But thanks for the information. That was what I had heard last as well, but that was quite a while ago. WO3X, let's just say that Mark was closer than you were. All right, KE8, UIB, John, I think we're going to get a couple of answers here, one from you, one from your folks. Good evening to John's mom and dad from W8WKY. We already got Laura's answer to a different question. So, John, how's your week starting out? Over to you.
W8WKY.
NT8D from K8UIB. Good evening, Dave, everybody out there on the net. And we'll take the satellite question. And on my mom and dad's behalf, we'll go with the year 1959, because that's the year my dad was born. And We'll see what that ends up. And as far as me, I have no idea. And it's already, let me see, it's a long weekend. It's been a long start to the work week. My brain just don't want to function. So with that, I'm going to take the perfect answer to any trivia question. I'm going to take it from a silent key and say peppermint ice cream, because that is just the perfect answer. But with that, you guys, I hope everybody's having a good evening. It was a great weekend. It was a great time at the Ham Fest. It was great seeing a lot of people. It was great conversating with you, Dave. And it made for a busy weekend, that is for sure. And busy couple last work days. And let me break the time here real quick. And as Lori was saying, we got woke up early this morning. Our dog is he's 9.5 years old. He's a big dog and starting to experience the hip pain, and so he woke up with some hip problems and stuff, and it made for a long morning for us. And then I worked late tonight and got home with enough time to get a shower, eat dinner, and catch the net. So I've barely been in the door for not even 2 hours yet. So with that, you guys, I just want to say good evening, everybody, and thank you for running the net, Dave. And with that, you guys, this is KE8UIB. I will hand this back over to Net Control. 7-3, y'all.
All right there, John. Well, man, I hope you find some chill time before you crash tonight. And it was great to chat with you for a while at the Hamfest. And yeah, I'm sure everything gets up on, you get a half step behind at the beginning on a Monday morning, man, after a long weekend. It catches you. So you'll catch up by the end of the week, I'm sure. Again, great to see you. Hopefully we'll catch you here at the end of the month. Well, you didn't get the year right on, but you were still closer than John was. So that's the hint so far. WD8LLA, Neil was in and out. KD8TNF was my last check-in here. So anybody else? This is W8WKY with a Tuesday night Sierra Club net. Anybody else like to check in? Please call now.
Kilo Alpha 8, Lima Yankee Juliet, KA8LYJ, mobile in the Magic City.
All right, KA8LYJ, this is W8WKY. Thanks for checking in. We got a couple of trivia questions if you want to answer them. One of them is, when was the first amateur satellite Oscar 1 launched into orbit? What year? And or you could answer, what was the Q code that was used before we started using RST for our reports?
W8WKY and the group. This is KA8LYJ. I've been listening here for about the last 20 minutes. N8XKD is in the hospital with a really bad foot infection. She's on IV antibiotics, and I ran her up a care package and turned the radio on when I got back in the car. I'm not even going to try the signal tone one because, I got my novice in 1979, and I was taught RST, so you're asking for something way before my time. I do believe Oscar 1 launched in 1960. With that, I'll give it back to you. KA8LYJ.
KA8LYJ. Oh, close, but no cigar. And we'll give the answers here shortly. Be safe while you're out on the road. Thanks for checking into the net here, and looking forward to catching up with you sometime very shortly. he said something I was going to comment on, but it just went out of my head because I was trying to figure out what I was going to do next. Because what I need to do next is see if there's anybody else. We're at the bottom of the list. K8LYJ was our last call here. Anybody else for the Tuesday night Serenade on the W8WKY repeater? Please call. That are still hanging out there in the ether. Before RST, which is readability, signal strength, and tone, in Morse code, they used the Q code QR. Quebec, Romeo, Italy, which meant, what is the tone of my transmission? So that was the alternate, or the first one, I guess. And the alternate then was Oscar 1 was launched in December of 1961, exactly 1 week before I was born. So those are the trivia answers. Any other comments, additions to add before we wrap up the net? Please call net control now.
Okay, Dave. Try to copy. KC8, Fox Queen Victor. I would say it was in December of 1961. November or December of 1961, and I knew that before you were even saying 61. I didn't know the exact date, month, but I knew the year, 61, KC8FQV.
I didn't expect anybody to get the exact date. I was hoping to get the year here, and you were right, 1961. And I got you into slot number 27 on tonight's Serenade. You have a pleasant evening in 73s. We'll catch you at the next meeting, probably. All right, let me go ahead and thank everybody for checking in to tonight's club night. Please check into W8WKY.org to see what's going on with the club. Again, I think it would be good to get another Master of Trivia back, but that's just my thoughts on the matter. Although I picked up Phil's strategy here for this evening, seemed to work pretty nicely. So, I guess with 27 check-ins to the club, please find us whenever you can. Come to our club meeting. You don't have to be a member. Join us for some food beforehand. If you're listening on the scanner or somewhere, just come on in and say hi, and we'll welcome you into the group and help you get started. So, from the W8WKY repeater, this is a Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday night club. This is NTAD Dave and Copley wishing everybody 73s. At 8:52 p.m. local time, we will now return this frequency to regular amateur radio use with 27 check-ins. Everybody have a wonderful week and hope to see everybody soon. This is NTAD 73.